students free for JAMB exams. So if you are there and you have not sent in your name and your local government, please do that immediately. Do that immediately to this number 0806 718 3188. 0806 718 3188. Send your name, your local government to this number for the free JAMB sponsored by Good Luck Nwaneri Foundation. All right, back to the question, Dayo. When we talk about the vision of IMO movement, which are instituted under three arms, tripod, we talk of justice, security, and development. Under justice, like what I said last week, that without justice, there will be no peace, and without peace, there will be no development. So these three things go together. And under justice, for the vision IMO movement have for Imo State, we must have respect for human rights. The government, organizations, government agencies, the police, the military, the DSS, vigilante, whatever, individuals must have respect for human rights. When you look at Imo State, for instance, since 2020 till now, there have been series of violations of human rights in the state, and we cannot pretend that we are not seeing these violations. We cannot pretend that we are not seeing how the police on a daily basis extort Imo residents. We cannot say that we are not seeing it on the road, on our highways. We cannot say that we have not had how Tiger Base arrest people indiscriminately, mass arrest, and tagging them ESN and IPOB without investigation. All these things are violations of the fundamental human rights of Imo residents. And we cannot pretend that even the government is not using the police to clamp down on those who are seen as being vocal, especially those of us who have this the flair for defending the masses. So these things keep happening in Imo State since 2020 till date. And so when we talk of justice, justice must be achieved before we talk of peace. Many people are talking of peace. We need peace. We need peace. Yes, of course we need peace. But there are people whose houses were burnt and they have not been compensated. There are those whose houses were burnt. There were those whose relatives, parents were allegedly killed by Bubago in Imo State, allegedly killed by Tiger Base in Imo State, those who died in the cell, those who are yet to even get. So we say we need peace. Of course, everybody wants peace. But you cannot say we need peace when there are people who are suffering from the injustice meted out to them by either government or individual. So when we talk of justice, there must be respect for human rights. And when we talk of respect for human rights, it is not just for government alone. It is not just for probably individuals alone. It is a collective responsibility, a collective effort from everyone to respect the human rights of each and every resident and citizen as contained in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And again, when we talk of justice, there must be judicial autonomy. The government, the vision of IMO movement is for the government to allow the judiciary to be autonomous. We have seen cases where some judges, some magistrates bow down to the governor because he pays their bills, he pays their monthly bills and all the rest. And so if the government is having a battle with someone, and such a person is brought to the court of such a magistrate or a judge that is so much aligned with the government, you find out that there will be no justice to that person. You know, so it has happened to me. But I don't want to start mentioning names here. But the truth remains that there must be judicial autonomy. The judicial must be autonomy. As we are looking at the local government that is autonomy, although that one is a partial autonomy anyway, because till now, the funds of the local government are still being paid in the state joint account, which is very, very wrong since the Supreme Court gave the judgment. So when we talk of justice again, we are talking of reconciliation. The vision of Heal IMO movement is for government to reconcile the living and the dead. When I say to reconcile the living and the dead, it is very obvious that for the past 5 years in Imo State, there have been unresolved killings. There have been unresolved maltreatment. There have been unresolved a whole lot of things in this state. And the government has not set up a committee, a commission, to look into what has transpired in the state as it concerns extrajudicial killings, as it concerns those who were felled by the guns of even the unknown gunmen. These are the things the government should come together and form a commission. This commission should look into those people that were allegedly killed by unknown gunmen and the people that were allegedly killed by security agents. And there must be a reconciliation. There must be a compensation. There must be a meeting point between all these things. So if we are talking of justice and if we are talking of an egalitarian society, if we are talking of a welfarist society, we must make sure that everybody or anybody who feels his right has been violated, such a person gets justice. And once we get justice, that is the only time we will get peace. Now, we are talking of compensation, for instance. My organization, Igbotvnews Foundation, we documented the alleged killings and burning of houses in Imo State by a Bubagu vigilante and even security agents from 2020 to 2024, and I have the list here, and we are still pursuing it. And when you look at the list here, you find out that every one of them here are Imo sons and daughters. Many of them here are homeless today because Bubago allegedly burnt their houses, or unknown gunmen allegedly burnt their. These are what government should have done before now, and it is not late. We can even assist the government by submitting this documentation to the government to help them ascertain the veracity of these claims. Now, we have done it as an NGO. We have done it as a human rights organization. We want to help the government so that people who feel that they have not gotten justice, or who feel that they have been maltreated in one way or the other, should get justice. Now, we are pushing this thing to the next level to make sure that if the government doesn't want to probably look into it, probably the court of law will also come into it.
Well, you made mention of justice being one of the major tripod, and you made mention of judicial autonomy, which has been a serious bone of contention in this country, where there's no clear separation between the different levels of power that we have, from the executive to the judiciary, and of course to the parliament also. It is much more concerning that it is the executive that continues to pay the judiciary, and like they always say, the popular saying, he who pays the piper, of course, takes the tunes. How can we, maybe citizens, if we can join the fight, join this advocacy for the judiciary to have their own autonomy? Not every year a governor comes, buys them SUV, buys the chief judges SUVs, buys the Court of Appeal judges SUVs, pays their salary, and then they have to somehow, dance to the tune of the executive. How do we resolve
the participation, the active participation of citizens are very, very paramount here, and that is why we are doing this advocacy, because we know that at the end of the day, it is the executive that rules the line. It is the executive that says, yes, we are going to do it, or no, we are not going to do it. But we keep harping on the need for judicial autonomy, and probably we can checkmate the judges and the magistrate by reviewing their judgments. Any judgment that we feel is not doesn't toe the true line of judgment. Of course, the NJC is there in Abuja to call the judge or the magistrate to order, and I think this is the only thing we as citizens can do, because at the end of the day, the ball lies in the court of the executive.
Absolutely. All right, we'll take a short break, and then when we return, we have more questions for Non-Sonko this morning, so do stay with us.
ndị Igbo anyị bụ ndị udo, ndị na-anabata ndị ọzọ, ndị hụrụ mmadụ ibe ha nakwa Chineke n'anya. Mana n'afọ ole gara aga ihe ndị a dịka ọ gbanweela. Iwe, ọnụma, ohi, mgbakasị ahụ, mgbafu ọbara, mpụ na aghụghọ tinyere ndị kwe na ndị ekweghị aghọọla chịbaa n'ụzọ n'ihi ọchịchị ọjọọ kpọrọ anyị ihu. Chai, ndị Igbo, ihe abụghị aka ngwasa basịrị ma ọlị, ahụ adịghị Igbo ma ọlị, n'ihi na ebe anyị gara ịnụ anyụ ka anyị gara zọrọ azọrọ. Oge ịgwọ Igbo ọrịa ji aka eruole ka anyị wezụga onwe anyị na-agbara ure nke na-ebute ikpe oke n'etiti anyị na Chineke. Igbo bụ nke Chukwu, ka ọgwụgwọ nsọ Chineke zuo ime ahụ, ka ihe isi ike, agụrụ, mgbafu ọbara, iwe, ọnụma gbabie ka mmiri na steeti Igbo. Ozi a sitere n'aka Hill Igbo Movement nke Goodluck Nwaneri Foundation na-akwado.
This is still Darling 107.3 FM, and it is the Hill Imo half hour right here on Darling Radio this morning. My name is Dio Dynamo, and of course we're still here with Mazi Chinonso Uba, aka Nonso Nkwa, who is the national coordinator for Hill Imo movement. Anyway, so we have more questions this morning. We're talking about the triple tripod that the Hill Imo movement stands on, which of course we mentioned at the inception is justice, security, and development. We just dealt with justice, but I want to ask for that this morning, Nonso Nkwa. Security is every man's business, and we know that without security, there's no development. Also, if we are calling that we do not have investors or a viable industry or a very business-safe environment in Imo State, because a lot of investors have run away because of insecurity. How can security be fully achieved in Imo State?
All right, thank you, Dio, my brother. Like you said, security is everybody's business. And of course, when you look at the Imo under review for the past 5 years, you find out that the internally generated revenue, IGR of Imo State, has dwindled to the most abysmal point that we are no longer sure that Imo State is even surviving. But we are just surviving by the grace of God anyway. And when you look at it, you find out that investors are no longer coming into Imo State. And those who had invested in Imo State are taking away their investment to other states that are peaceful and that are not towing the line of disrespect to human rights. And of course, if we want security in Imo State, we have to do the most important thing. And what is that? We must make sure that even the government itself or herself and the people herself and the citizens are involved in passionately involved in ensuring that there is security in every domain. Everyone must make sure that there is security in his vicinity, security in your compound, security in your village, security in your town, security in your community. Then we now come to the state and have security in the state. If there is no security in my village, for instance, in Omonoha, if there is no security in Omonoha, then there will be no security in Mbitolu, and then there will be no security in Imo State. So what are we saying? The government must be able to pinpoint those areas, those terrible areas that are that are giving Imo State the bad name. One, we are talking of the Fulani headsmen. Not just the Fulani headsmen that are now that were in those days, using their cattle and their whatever to destroy the crops. But we are talking about the Fulani headsmen who are now carrying guns, who are now blocking people who have houses in Oforola, blocking people who have houses in Avo, blocking people who have houses in Erete, those who have houses in Umwakane, those who have houses in Rogwe, even in Ihiagba, Nekede, and Obinze, and even Naze. So we are talking of those Fulanis in the bushes. And if the government want to get this insecurity sorted out, there must be the establishment of forest guards. It is important that the Hill Imo movement, proposes to the government, if the government doesn't know, that there is need for the House of Assembly of Imo State to have a law establishing forest guards in Imo. Because we cannot have a forest guard that is not backed up by law. As right now we have an Ibubago that is not backed up by any law in Imo State. We must have a law that is backed up by law, a forest guard that is backed up by law, and this forest guard must be the responsibility of every traditional ruler in each community in Imo State. Ndebe anyị so na onye ọbụla onye diala mara na okpo diala. There is what we call Apian way. It is only the son of the soil that knows the Apian way in his community. So we must have forest guards, and these forest guards must be ready to ply to make sure that our bushes are constantly paroled. They must parole the bushes to make sure that they flush out these Fulani herdsmen that are constantly kidnapping our people, taking ransoms of 5 million up to 10 million. Few weeks ago, one woman that goes to market early in the morning from Irete to Amako Hubi was kidnapped on the way. And when the Fulani herdsmen called that they should bring the ransom, the first son of that woman, went to give them the ransom. And when they found out that the police are tracking them, they killed the woman and the son. Few weeks ago at Irete, I posted it on my social media handle. The pictures are there, you know. And with these things keep happening. Abala is not safe. Avo is not safe. Obinze is not safe. Naze is not safe. Ihiagba, Nekede, these places are not safe. So what do? We need forest guards. These forest guards must be backed up by law so that they can do their job. Apart from the forest guard, the government can also, how do I put it, make them work with hunters association, those who are the real hunters, so that they can also patrol our bushes. Now, there is one thing we are proposing. Imo movement. The government of the day can also give amnesty to all the criminals in this state, both those who call themselves unknown gunmen and those who are the Fulani herdsmen that are hiding inside our bushes and kidnapping our people. The government can give amnesty and say, between now and so time, you must come out with your weapon, surrender to government official or so ministry, and then we can help you. I think I've heard the governor say it once or twice when he said that the government is ready to forgive these our criminal brothers who are in the bushes and who are fighting and who are on daily basis kidnapping and maiming and killing people. You know, I've heard it once or twice, and yet it's not just saying it. It's not just by mere talk. When you say something as a governor, you follow it up with executive action. You know, you institute a commission, institute a committee. This is an amnesty committee headed by probably a retired military general or probably by a reverend father or a bishop. Then let us work towards bringing these people out of the bush and then submitting their weapons. Then, if after 1 month or 2 weeks or 3 weeks that the government has given to these people and they did not return their weapons and they did not surrender, then the government can now go all out and let hell break loose on those people and wherever they are hiding. It is funny that when you look at some analysis of why unknown gunmen are still flourishing in Imo State, they will tell you that where they are hiding, the military cannot go there. Where they are hiding, the military cannot penetrate there. Where on earth can the military not penetrate? Where on earth? Tell me a well-trained military where they tell you, hey, that place those people are hiding. They are hiding under the rock. They are hiding under the river. In fact, they are inside one pothole like that the military cannot reach them. But yet they will be shooting gun and destroying. 2-3 days ago, somebody from our mama sent me a video of their house that was scattered by a bomb thrown by the military from Azara. They were targeting the people that are in that river, that Njaba River. Yes, you know. But unfortunately, the bomb didn't go to Njaba River. The bomb left Njaba, in fact, flew over Njaba River and went to our mama, landed on somebody's house and scattered somebody's house. You know? So these are the things. We are not getting it right at all. The governor should know that the issue of security, they are not getting it right. There are certain things. It's not by force. Security issue is not by force. I know I have been one of those people that say, give these people amnesty. If they refuse to come and surrender, then whatever you want to do as a government, you do. You know, so these are the things. Then finally, under security, we must have a well recognized local vigilantes, not Ebubago. Ebubago is not a vigilante. Ebubago is imported. Ebubago is not made of indigenous vigilante members. So the government must make sure that if we are having a local vigilante, it must come from our communities. If you are a vigilante that is going to protect me, I must know your father, I must know your mother, I must know you. Even if the person is a former criminal or a retired armed robber or this and that, and government want to convert him to help and protect the community, no problem. After all, Saul was later given, baptized into Paul. So if the government want to use such people in our community, there are many in our communities, and you give them, equip them, then they will protect the community. That is what we are saying.
This is a lot, of course, I must say. Just like you said, in the area of security, the government must do better. But I want us to quickly talk about development, which is the third report now that, the IMO movement is hinged on. How can development be fully achieved in Imo State? Very importantly, power is the most important factor in every development. Luckily for us, we have the second highest gas deposit in the entire world, situated at Ohaji in Imo State. If you go there and see how work is going there, you will marvel at the kind of gift, natural resources God has blessed Imo State with. We can convert them. We have one at Amanako, power plant at Amanako, during the time of our beloved late governor, Simon Bakwe. Amanako power station. Before you know it, they use it for politics. The problem we have is that most of the people who governed Imo State lacked the vision of Mbakwe. Most of them lacked the vision of Mbakwe. The only person that came closer to the vision of Mbakwe was Senator Rochas Okrocha. But the problem with the government of Okrocha was execution, proper execution. If it is about ideas, Rochas has ideas, but to execute it is a problem. But we are looking for a government, and the Imo movement, we are proposing that this government can start it now. Let us have a power plant at Okigwe, a power plant at Olo, and even a power plant at Owerri Zone. If the power plant cannot work like that, probably because of lack of logistics or so, we can also try to get fund power plant in each local government. For instance, Mbito local government receives 359.9 million every month. So if the local government like Mbitolu decides to have a small power plant that can power Mbitolu have 9 villages, that can power the 9 communities in Mbitolu, we can do it. Within the next 3 years, we can do it. We can use small percentage of money we get every month to do these things. So without power, there will be no development. And under power, agriculture is also very important in as a factor in developing Imo State, because if we don't invest in agriculture, we will find ourselves going hungry. Now, what do we do? If the government is serious, under Hill Imo movement, we propose that we have farm settlement at Olo, farm settlement at Okigwe, and another farm settlement at Owerri, producing different agricultural products, so that these things can help to ameliorate and reduce the prices of goods in the market. Some people don't even have ogo in their backyard. Everything they eat in their house, they must go to market and buy it. That is why agriculture is important. There is this small place we call in our village, we call it Oba. Oba is a small space at your backyard where you can just plant a pumpkin leaf, plant other small leaf like so that, or even pepper, so that once or in a while you go there, plug this thing and use it and cook. But some people don't have it. They must go to market and buy everything, and which is very, very wrong. Industrialization, finally. We have an industrial park. Industrial, what do you call it? Layout.
Industrial layout, thank you. But go there today, they have parcellated it for residential buildings. They have parcellated our industrial layout for residential. And when you talk, government will tell you, we don't know that people are living there. Go to OCDA. They will tell you, we didn't know that people are living there. Nobody will tell you they know anything. But those people that built a house there collected approval from a particular government agency. And now they will tell you that. Now, if the government is serious about industrialization of Imo State, any residential building in that industrial area must be brought down. Because since Mbakwe, that was how it was carved out. Even in the map of Imo State, that place is industrial layout. It is not a residential building layout.
We don't have much time anymore. I'll quickly want to ask, for anyone who wants to join this advocacy, this movement, who wants to join, this fight for the rights of not just Nigerians, but Indimo in particular, how can one join this movement?
All right, if you want to join Heal Imo movement, we have one requirement: integrity. If you lack integrity, please don't join us. If you are somebody that likes bribery and corruption, don't join us. If you are somebody that to speak the truth is a problem for you, please don't join us. But if you know you want to see Imo healed, because right now Imo is sick, what do? Send us your name and your local government to my number 0813 305 0089 0813 305 0089. And I want to finally thank our sponsor, Good Luck Nwaneri Foundation, who just gifted our movement a brand new Hummer bus. Thank you, Good Luck Nwaneri Foundation, for this.
Thank you very much. We've had for the last 30 minutes here about Mazi Chinonso Ba, aka Nonsonkwa, the National Coordinator for Heal Imo Movement. He's the State Director, National Youth Alliance, and also President, Nchekwa Ndiogbenye Foundation.
Yes.
Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you very much, Dio.
We commend you for your activism.
Thank you, my brother.
Human rights. Some people must do it, and we thank you because you've taken on this burden. I will continue to encourage you, of course, with the most that we can do.
Thank you.
That the right of every Nigerian, of course, especially Imo-like, are respected, and of course, they are very much also attained. Thank you very much, Nonso.
Thank you, Dio.
All right, by 11, we'll be handing you over.